Hello students, today I'm here to teach you a chapter Art Rocks from the unit 2 from the book Communicate in English, class 8th. So this is the section 1 of unit 2, Art and Culture, and the section's title is Art Rocks. Here in this chapter we'll study about Bhimbetka. You must have heard about Bhimbetka, a historical place. So without any delay, let's start with the prologue of this chapter. Prologue, the lines given in the beginning of the chapter, those are known as prologue. So this travelogue is about Bhimbetka, the prehistoric rock shelters in Madhya Pradesh where early humans painted scenes from their life and their world. Actually, this is a travelogue. Travelogue, when a person travels certain places and when that person writes something or presents a written account of those things, so that written account is known as travelogue because the person has completed that on the basis of his journey, on the basis of his travel. So that's why that is known as a travelogue. So this Art Rocks is a travelogue, and travelogue of which place? Actually, the writer visited Bhimbetka, and Bhimbetka is a prehistorical rock shelters. Bhimbetka is a prehistorical means before the written record of history, whatever things were there, before the written record of history, whatever things were there, those are known as prehistoric things. And here these rocks are prehistorical rock shelters. And these are situated, Bhimbetka is situated in Madhya Pradesh. And in Bhimbetka, the early humans, they painted scenes from their life and their world. Means you can see, if you visit that place, you can see the paintings, the traces at this place. Now, Bhimbetka, as the author realizes, is an awe-inspiring gallery displaying art that dates from the Paleolithic to the medieval age, all on one stony canvas. Now, Bhimbetka, as the author realized that the paintings and the displayings what were present there in Bhimbetka, you can see the displayings, these kind of displayings are there in Bhimbetka. So those displayings were awe-inspiring. Awe-inspiring means they were awesome, you can say surprising, awesome, right? Now, and the author says that the writer says that those paintings are, or those paintings exist in Bhimbetka since Paleolithic age to medieval age. Now, what is this Paleolithic age? Paleolithic age means the Stone Age, when people used, the people or the human beings, they used when people used stone tools for their work, for their working style. Means if they went for hunting, they used stone tools for hunting the animals. If they had to dig anything, if they had to dig the ground, so they used stone tools. You can see these stone tools have been displayed here. So that age when human being used these stone tools, that age is known as the Stone Age, or we can say Paleolithic age. And that this Bhimbetka and those paintings were made or exist in this world since that Paleolithic world to medieval age. Even today also you can see them, but those paintings were created, those paintings were made on the walls of those rocks during this period. Now, and they used those rocks as a canvas. Canvas, you know, canvas is a rough cloth where people use that canvas to make artistic things on that canvas. Now, we find records of life starting from the period when people were hunter gatherers to the time when iron technology had become quite significant. And we found records of this Bhimbetka since the people were hunter-gatherers, and up to the time when people started using iron technology. Now, what is iron technology? Instead of these stone tools, when people started using iron tools, or tools made of iron, then that was the period of when the iron became significant. You can see, if this picture is visible to you, you can see the person is holding a tool which is made of iron, and the other people also, you can see they are utilizing the other iron tools. This is called iron technology. So Bhimbetka and those paintings were created from the Stone Age to iron technology. Now, a study of these paintings gives us an insight into the activities of prehistorical people, their clothing, the animal they had, and numerous other facets of their life. And a study of these paintings, a study of paintings of Bhimbetka gives us an information about the activities of prehistorical human beings, their the animals that they had, their clothings, everything. Now, so this was the prologue. Now let's start with the chapter. Fresh from the book launch of Ijlal Majid's stunning new poetry collection in Bhopal, I find myself gazing at the rock shelters of Bhimbetka and murmuring his verses over and over again. So the narrator, writer, he went to Bhopal with another writer whose name was Ijlal Majid, and whose book was launched at that time. So he went there in the book launch of Ijlal Majid, our narrator, our writer. And after that, they visited this place, Bhimbetka. That's why he is saying that he found himself gazing at those paintings of Bhimbetka. Now, for indeed there is something sublime about this place. Looking at the ochre and fire engine red paintings drawn by human hands several thousand years ago, spotting a buffalo or a deer, seeing how our earliest ancestors fought, sang and played, makes Bhimbetka a singularly unusual place. Now what happened? When the writer saw those paintings, so those paintings looked like ochre and fire engine red like color, means bright red color, and yellowish orange color was there in those paintings, and those paintings were made of these two colors. And what were the things that were painted there on the rocks? Buffaloes, their fights, and besides this, how they sang, how they played, everything was displayed there on the walls of Bhimbetka. And these things make Bhimbetka an unusual place, Now, an archaeologist, Vishnu Sridhar Vakankar, chanced upon these rock shelters in 1957 while travelling by train to Bhopal. Chanced upon means there was an archaeologist, Vishnu Sridhar Vakankar. He chanced upon, by chance he went to that place and he studied that place, okay, when he travelled to Bhopal by train. Hidden in a dense, almost impenetrable forest inhabited by wild animals, these shelters had long found mention in the popular culture of the Adivasis. Actually, this place is situated in dense forest, okay, and where you can find the culture of Adivasi people. During the Buddhist era, some stupas were built in the vicinity, and the region became associated with Buddhist lore. Buddhist lore means the tradition, the tradition of Buddhism, Buddhist period. Okay, and this place was associated with Buddha due to some stupas, some what we can say monuments were made in the period of Buddha. That's why this place is associated with Buddha also. Now, the name Bhimbetka, however, is associated with Bhima, the warrior prince from the Mahabharata known for his immense strength. This name is associated with one more very important mythological character, Bhima. Bhim, what we call in Hindi, Bhim. So this character was from Mahabharata, who was the warrior prince of Pandavas, right? He was one of the Pandavas. Now, the word Bhimbetka is said to be derived from Bhimbetaka, meaning the batak, a seat, sit down or a seat of Bhima. Actually, this Bhimbetka, if you derive the meaning of this word, so it seems Bhimbetaka means the seat of Bhim, the seat of Bhima, the mythological character. That's why this place is known as, means Bhim, the mythological character Bhim used to sit in these caves, in these rocks. That's why these rocks are known as Bhimbetka. Now, Vakankar's serendipitous discovery brought the 700 odd rock shelters spread over 10 km and the stunning paintings in red and white with the occasional flash of yellow and green to the world attention, causing UNESCO to declare them a World Heritage Site in 1970. Actually, this place was brought into light towards the world, or this place was brought into attention of the world just because of, or who brought this place into the attention of world? Vakankar, Vishnu Sridhar Vakankar. He brought this place into the attention of the people and the world as well. And UNESCO declared this place as the World Heritage Site in 1970. Okay. Now, this place, there are 700 odd rock shelters. Actually, how many rock pieces are there? 700. Okay. And these rocks have been spread in 10 kilometers of distance. Situated 45 kilometers from Bhopal at the southern edge of the low-lying Vindhyachal hills, these rock shelters are made of massive sandstone rocks balanced on each other to form natural shelters from the sun, wind and rain. Now what happened? This place is situated in the southern direction of Bhopal and it is 45 kilometers away from Bhopal, and it is situated in the low lying, in the bottom part of Vindhyachal hills, right? And these rock shelters form a kind of shelter, which these rocks provided a shelter to those human beings from the rain, sun and wind. On the smooth underside of the rock's faces, we find painted scenes from an ancient past showing the earliest traces of human life in India. Inside of these rocks, you can see this is the cave. Okay, this is the outer part of the cave and we are looking this cave from inside. You know, this picture has been captured from inside and this is the outer part of this cave. That means here inside of the smooth part of the rocks, some paintings have been drawn, some paintings have been made or painted. Okay, and these paintings show the world that show the man, means these paintings, just because of these paintings we can know that the earliest man existed in this world. The human being existed in this world since a long. These paintings show us. Now, scientists believe that these rock shelters deep in the forested heart of the Indian subcontinent were inhabited by hominids more than 1 lakh years ago. Now, there are scientists who believe that these rocks were inhabited by early humans. Hominids means early humans. So, these rocks were inhabited by early humans, and these rocks are situated, as we already have discussed, these rocks are situated in the dense forest of nearby Bhopal. And as you all know, Madhya Pradesh is known as the heart of India, right? So obviously Madhya Pradesh is known as the heart of India, and Bhopal is the capital of India, and this place is nearby Bhopal. So this place Bhimbetka is situated in the heart of the city. And human beings lived in these caves before more than 1 lakh years. 1 lakh years ago, human being lived in these caves, in these rocks. The rock paintings found here are approximately 30,000 years old, belonging to the Paleolithic age. And see, human existence was there in the world before more than 1 lakh years ago. Okay, but these paintings are said to be 30,000 years old, not more than that, because the person after taking birth, the person might have learned all these things, and it must have taken a lot of time, because that was not the world of technology. Now we have technology and we can learn the things easily, but that was the world where there were no means of learning things, and there were not many more facilities and technologies, right? That's why it took a long time to them to learn paintings and drawings, right? So these paintings are 30,000 years old only. They are considered by the scientists. A cluster of rock shelter is called zoo, painted at different times from the Mesolithic to the medieval ages. It shows a profusion of animals and birds in the most vivid colors and lifelike forms. Now, Mesolithic and medieval age. Now, what is this Mesolithic age? Mesolithic age is the age which is counted if we count from tomorrow. Okay, today. Present, actually, this age started from 20,000 to 8,000 BP. BP here means before present. Wherever we are living now, in whichever time we are living from now, if we go back 8,000 years back, if we go, so that period, Mesolithic period, ended at that time. 8,000 years ago it ended, and it started 20,000 years ago, right? Now, and so these paintings, Bhimbetka paintings, were painted between Mesolithic age to medieval age. Okay, and there are many animals and birds paintings are there, which are painted in vivid color. Okay, lifelike forms, they are present there. Boars, elephants, rhinoceros, barasingha, spotted deer, cattle and snake account for its well-deserved name. These were the pictures which were present there: boars, elephants, rhinoceros, barasingha, and deer and cattle and snakes, right? Now, elsewhere, scenes depicting hunting, fishing and food gathering, as well as communal dances, the use of musical instruments, birth, funerals and burials make these rock surfaces come alive with 1,000 stories. Now, there, if you visit this place, Bhimbetka, you will find the pictures and paintings of burials, dances, funerals and musical instruments, birth, everything. Whatever traditions, whatever customs we follow now, those customs were followed by the early men also, and the traces can be found through those paintings in Bhimbetka, right? So through those traces, through those paintings, we can believe and we can understand that the early human also had some traditions with them. Recognizable animal figures appear in many scenes, as do humans, and if you go there, you will see the recognizable animal figures along with the human figures. If you will see the human figure, obviously you will be able to recognize that human figure, but besides human figures, you will see some animals figures also which are recognizable. You will be able to identify which animal's painting was is there, right? Now, both single and in groups, thus indicating the society had already emerged in the Paleolithic period. And you will find the pictures both in single and group also. People will, you may find the people, you may find the paintings of group people, of a group of people, and then single person also. So you will see, after looking at the group of the people, you will see and you will understand that the society was emerged a long ago, right? Now, the Mesolithic age that began around 8000 years BCE. BCE means before Common Era or before current era. This is the current era. So before 8000 years or 8000 years ago, this Mesolithic era began. Actually, it began before 20,000 years and it ended before 8,000 years. Okay. That was the before 8,000 means 8,000 years ago, it was the end of Mesolithic era. So this was the time when traditions and religious beliefs based on nature and ecology began to take place. And during this time, during Mesolithic era, traditions and cultures, traditions and religious things which were based on the nature and ecology, they began to, people started these things, traditions and religious beliefs. Now, the Bhimbetka paintings bear witness to how a great civilization came into being, how its foundations were laid in crude line drawings, and how later generations filled these outlines with color, detail, a sharp eye and a lively imagination. Okay, so Bhimbetka paintings, they bear the witness, means they prove, they give you the proof of what thing? Proof of a civilization being there at that time. Okay, and proof of how its foundations were laid, how that civilization's foundations were laid by early humans. Okay, and you will find the traces of, because see, in the beginning, when in the Stone Age, when people started making the drawings, so they made the drawings just in the form of outlines, means there were no colors, nothing was there, just there was a shape and colorless. But after the generations, when the people came generation after generations, so they learned certain things and they filled the colors, different colors in those paintings, and they created their own paintings also. Not only they filled the colors, they created their own paintings of their age. People belonging to different evolutionary time groups used the same rock surfaces as their canvas, thus multiple scenes are either superimposed or drawn alongside. Okay, and along with the generations, as I told you that after generations, people kept drawing these kind of paintings on the walls, on those rocks. Okay, and they kept drawing for a long time. Okay, so some people drew these paintings, some people made these paintings or painted these things over the paintings, means they imposed their paintings on the existing paintings. Okay, and some other people painted the things below those things or alongside those things. Okay, so that those paintings remained there and they created their own on the given space. And there were some people who imposed their paintings on the existing paintings. Now, the oldest and most muted and comparatively crude paintings are usually closer to the rock base. Okay, the oldest paintings means the paintings which were drawn, the paintings which were made in the oldest time, which are the oldest one, those paintings were drawn at the bottom of the rocks, and then gradually these paintings rose above. Okay, means the first generation drew their paintings in the bottom, then second generation came, they drew their paintings or they made their paintings above than that, and then In this way it increased. Okay. And the latest came at the highest point, at the highest place, the latest painting. Now, as the eye travels upwards, the scenes are remarkable for their detailing. A spotted deer, a gaily decorated horse, a man carrying a plumed handheld insignia similar to the ones still used by Adivasi dancers, horse-borne riders carrying blunt stone instruments, and then progressively bows and arrows, and masked figures engaged in battles. In the beginning, people drove their things at the bottom of those rocks, okay, and then in the beginning, what kind of paintings were made? The things, the activities, what they did, those kind of paintings were drawn on the walls. But as the time passed by, their activities and their skills were increased. So according to their skills, they drew the pictures of different kind of tools and different kind of activities like wars, okay, horse riding, decorating the horse, everything. And finally it came up to the wars. Means there was the picture you can find if you visit Bhimbetka rocks. So you will find the pictures of warriors having war amongst themselves, having battle amongst themselves. These kind of pictures are also painted on the rocks. Okay. Now after this, the writer says, up to here the writer has explained the scenery of that place Bhimbetka. But after this, the writer shares his experience after visiting and after watching all those paintings. What was the condition of the author? He was overwhelmed. Overwhelmed means he was filled with good emotions, happy emotions, okay. And then actually they were that was the party of three people. One Izlal Mazid, another one our writer, and one more fellow was there. So they were the three people, and they were trying to find out now, after visiting all the rocks, after watching and seeing all the rocks, now they were trying to find out some place where they could contemplate these places for some time. But they were disturbed. Meanwhile, they were disturbed by an Indian tourist, okay, who was talking loudly on his mobile phones. Even after coming home from there, the author, whenever he thought about that place, he was fascinated by that place, and he was very much thrilled after remembering that place. Thank you very much.